What is up, F and true followers, wrestling fans, and members of the YWC? I'm JC Styles here with the F and brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com with the TNA Slammiversary review for June 10th, 2012. Slammiversary is a pretty decent pay-per-view. Biggest news out of the night, we have two new champions crowned. We also saw the return of a former TNA Tag Team Champion. We also saw the return of a former TNA NWA World Heavyweight Champion. We did find out the very first inductee into the TNA Hall of Fame. So we're going to get right into it. First off, we see a great singles competition between the X Division champion Austin Aries and Samoa Joe. We saw Austin Aries successfully retain his championship over Samoa Joe. Now, it was a very strong contest. Both of these athletes gave it their all. Samoa Joe, if those of you who have just recently started following TNA, Samoa Joe was a former X Division champion. He started in the X Division when he first broke into TNA, when he was bouncing back between TNA and ROH. ROH and TNA kind of had a small little agreement where TNA stars would go over and wrestle with ROH, and ROH would go over and wrestle with TNA. It was something similar of what WCW had with New Japan Pro Wrestling. But that's besides the point. We saw great action. Samoa Joe and Austin Aries showed great sportsmanship when they shook hands in the middle of the ring. They left it in the ring as good athletes should do all the time after every match. We then move into a match that was recently added to the card. Hernandez picking up the win over Kid Cash. Now, Hernandez seemed to get a really big pop tonight. I'm assuming that this is going to start his face run. Last time I tuned in to Impact months ago, Hernandez was still part of Mexican America with Rosita, Sarita, and Anarquia. Then we move into triple threat action. We see Mr. Anderson pick up the win over RVD and Jeff Hardy. The stipulation to this match was the winner of the match would go on to face the winner of Sting Rude this coming Thursday on Impact for the TNA World Heavyweight title. We then move into an open challenge by Crimson. Crimson issued an open challenge to any TNA roster competitor, whether returning, whether backstage. It didn't matter. It was an open challenge, and it was answered by Texas's own James Storm, former TNA World Heavyweight Champion and former NWA and TNA Tag Team Champion. Successfully defeated, giving Crimson his very first loss after 14 months. We then move into the TNA Hall of Fame announcement. We see the entire current TNA locker room empty out and come up on the stage, and they show a video package. We then see that the video package contained the icon, the insane icon Sting, for the first ever TNA Hall of Fame inductee, which the ceremony will take place later in the year at Bound for Glory. We then see the Knockouts in action with Gail Kim defending the TNA Knockouts Championship against Miss Tessmacher. This match was definitely interesting to see. Miss Tessmacher had Gail Kim's number over the last couple of months and getting quick wins and roll-ups and wins over the champion. Now, this win tonight should have came last month at Lockdown, but all in all, this pay-per-view, this match was great. I give it off to both athletes. Miss Tessmacher is our new TNA Knockouts champion. We then see Joseph Parks pick up the win over Bully Ray. Bully Ray went to put a table inside the ring as Joseph Parks rolled out and went underneath the ring. We then see Bully Ray turn around, and who's standing in the ring behind him? Abyss. Abyss choke slams Bully Ray through the table, crawls underneath the ring, and moments later, Joseph Parks crawls out, gets in the ring, and picks up the win. We then have Hulk Hogan come out and says that he has another surprise for us, and he brings out the former NWA TNA World Heavyweight Champion Christian Cage, as announced last week by Dixie Carter on Twitter. For those of you who are following us, saw the video that I posted Friday about this. He talked about missing how, even though that the ring is 4 sides and the venues have made change, the fans and the feeling of being in the TNA ring didn't change. Then we see a video package roll of the #1 Slammiversary moment, which was at 2006 when Sting came back and teamed with Christian Cage to take on Monty Brown and Jeff Jarrett. We then move into tag team action. Kaz and Daniels set on to defend the TNA World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships against AJ Styles and Kurt Angle, and a phenomenal tag team match. Their feud has been building since the last pay-per-view, where we saw Daniels and Kaz officially announce what they had on AJ. Then we see this feud build up more when they poke their nose into a match between AJ Styles and Kurt Angle, which led to them teaming up and feuding with Kaz and Daniels. We see AJ and Kurt Angle pick up the win and are our new tag team champions. With some really good spots. There was a double German suplex. Angle went to go German suplex Kaz, and Kaz grabbed onto Daniels, and they both went. We saw AJ do a tremendous shooting star press to the outside of the ring on Daniels that took Daniels out of the equation, which allowed Kurt Angle to lock in the ankle lock on Kaz. Phenomenal match, tag team match. I would probably have to say it was a 5-star tag match. We then move into the final match of the night, which was Bobby Roode retaining the World Heavyweight Championship over Sting when Sting applied the Scorpion Deathlock on the announcer's table outside of the ring. As these two got back in the ring, we noticed Roode had James Storm's beer bottles. As he went to go crack Sting in the face with it, the ref grabbed one and threw it, and that distracted the referee. Then, which allowed Roode to grab another one and crack Sting in the head, picking up the win. Post-match, Sting was very fueled and delivered the Scorpion Death drop off of the stage through a table to end the show. Now, I'm curious to see what this is going to do this coming Thursday. I would have liked to have seen Sting pick up the world title just because they announced him as a Hall of Fame inductee, but it seems to be that Sting is undefeated at Bound for Glory, so they may allow him to pick up the championship that night and maybe drop it at the following pay-per-view or the following week on Impact. But all in all, this pay-per-view was very good. I have nothing bad to say about it. Great matches. Could I have seen a little bit more out of the Knockouts match? Yes. But great talent all around. And guys, thanks for watching. Please check out the official website of the Effin brand at FightNationWrestling.com and follow us on Twitter at EffinTrueWrestling, at JCXStyles, and at BrianCrazy2001. I just noticed saying that, I just put an annotation in the bottom right left-hand corner of the screen. So please follow us, and we'll be back tomorrow night with the Monday Night Raw review. Have a great night.